Good morning. I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and you are in for a very special treat today because we are going to be talking with Gigi Gerstenberger. She probably got married and her maiden name was Smith. What do you think?
Something like that.
Gigi is from just a really unique business who recently joined the chamber, and it's Ayusa. And did I say that right, Gigi?
Yes, you did.
Oh, good. Well, good morning to you. Okay.
Good morning.
And I'm just going to try to be quiet because I'm so excited about your business. So I'm going to try to be quiet, but I can't promise anything. So first of all, tell us about Ayusa.
Sure. So Ayusa is a 42-year-old nonprofit J-1 visa exchange program for secondary students and was one of the original organizations working with the Department of State to create the CSIET, which sets the standards for international study. And Ayusa places international high school students in every state in the United States. I am the Northeast Ohio rep, and for 22-23, we have 850 students coming on program. September 1st, I start seeking 23-24 host families. I am also the U.S. Programs Advisor overseeing opportunities for Americans to go to Germany and do a high school exchange or a postgraduate college internship, to au pair, to tutor English, or head to Japan for an educational summer. So I'd love to share those details with anyone interested.
Okay, so we're talking about anybody who would like to host a family or be an exchange student. Is that right? So it's
Correct. It's both
groups.
Or a college intern, or au pair abroad, or tutor English abroad. And you don't need to speak German or any other language to do those things. Well, high school exchange, you need a little bit, but yeah. So
how do you become one of the host families or an exchange person?
If you contact me, I basically give you the details of the program, what the requirements are for the family. They do an application. There are multi-tiered background checks. I come into the home, meet the family, and the family has no legal liability. They select the student. So I work with them to ensure that it's a student that matches their family. And we go from there. There's support throughout the whole process. I work with their schools. They enroll the student just as their own child. The student lives by their household rules. They're funded by their own families. So they have the money to buy clothing, school supplies, play sports, travel, grocery items, things like that. And the family just needs to have a bed available for the student. And then they can share a bedroom and then be able to provide 3 meals a day. And if the student chooses not to pack lunch, then they pay for their school lunch. So the commitment is more one of being a nurturing environment and really wanting this young adult to come in and be a family member. We expect them to do chores. It's you know, bringing in a new member of the family, and then you always have this global family out there from the country you've chosen to host it.
Oh boy, that is amazing. Yeah. What would be a profile of like a great family that would work well with your program?
That's a fantastic question because there is no typical dynamic. We accept you do not have to have children at all to host. You can be married, you can be a single adult, you can be empty nesters, retired, LGBTQ. I have families that have had 9 children under the age of 15 who took 2 students. I have families who are pregnant with their first. We have people who are not married with no children. I mean, the bigger issue is that it's a nurturing, safe environment and that the student gets the opportunity to come over and they know they're coming to live your American life for the year or the semester, whichever you choose, and that you've chosen them. So we just mentor them to enjoy every moment of that and make as big an impact here as they can.
I would think not only for the person coming into your home, but the people in your home, this would be a life-changing event.
It is life-changing. It absolutely is, because it's not just the students exchange, it's your family's exchange. And again, we mentor our students to come in. They know they've been chosen, that these people have opened their heart and their home to them. We want them making the biggest impacts in their home, with their new family, with their schools and their communities. And I have references if there are people who really wonder what the reality of it is, from families who are hosting this year, who have hosted in the past. they become a true family member. And you know, I've had parents say to me, I never thought I could love another child as, you know, like my own. And it's an amazing adventure.
So what would happen, for example, if there was just an issue where there wasn't a family setting, like things weren't going well?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have, like I said, this year we have 850 kids coming on program. We expect up to 950 for 23, 24. And it's less than 1%, but sometimes that happens. Things just don't mesh, even though you've, you know, gotten to know the student prior to them arriving. That's life sometimes, right? So we're there to support. I'm there to support. I'm in constant contact with the students and the families. We try to help facilitate that, mediate, see what the core issue is, if we can help correct it in any way, because you are having to learn somebody else's culture. But our kids have to speak certain levels of English. They have to be good students. They have to meet a certain maturity level. We don't accept every student on program. So most of our kids are very mature, very well traveled, but in the occasion there is an issue, then we address that. And if it comes to the point where we need to put the student in a different home, then we do. And sometimes life happens. People may have tragedy during the year in their family, and they say, you know what, the student isn't going to get what they need from us. So, you know, we handle all those things.
Oh, I love that, because you know what, it is a leap, you know, to bring somebody into your home from a different culture with a different language, you know, accent of language.
Yeah.
And so I think that is terrific. Now, you said about how people get to know the student ahead of time. How does that happen?
Well, typically, again, the family selects the student, but what they get to see is an entire profile. They know what, you know, they pick the grade, the age, boy, girl. Some families take 2 students. They pick what country they're from. We can look at the family dynamic. We can tell them what the parents do as occupations. Are they in a married family or a single family? Do they share time with parents? What their entire background is. They get to see, once we get to that point, they get to see videos where the students introduce themselves. So you see the fluency of their English, you see their personality. And then once you have selected that student, they get to start communicating. The kids typically come 2 weeks before school starts. So they're video chatting with the family, getting to know them, and, you know, just building up a relationship before the student even arrives. So
now I do want to ask too, what if you're a single parent household?
Yes, single with children. I mean, we have that all the time. Obviously, that's unfortunately a common family dynamic. So, and that's okay, as long as the home and the adults get through the background checks and the home safety inspection and all those. I mean, I come in and meet the family and interview them to try to assess what student would really be best in their life. You don't stop your life. The student comes in, of course, wanting to do an exchange. They know they're leaving, how things are at home, and they're living in your family dynamic. But it's not an entertainment year. You're not supposed to, they're supposed to engage into your family, your community. And if these kids join a sports team or the band or choir or any of the things that the American high schools offer, they're very busy and integrated. So if you're not a family who does a lot outside of your community, or maybe you camp, that's fantastic. The biggest comment I get from the kids at the end of the year is their absolute favorite memories are just the times in the living room, or teaching their family some of their recipes from home, or just really learning the daily life, because that's where that bond and that lifelong relationship is built. So
now, Gigi, why do you love what you do? Because I know you do.
I do love what I do. Well, I personally, my husband and I both did exchanges. 3 of our 5 children have studied in different countries. I have hosted students, and I just see so much value for our young people, our young adults, because I personally had a global corporate career and to travel personally to 33 different countries. So I just have so much passion about the value to our kids about learning languages, understanding cultures and traditions, wanting to know more about our world, to travel, to think from different perspectives, and just to realize you can learn so much from someone who's different than you. And not to mention the competition in the workplace. I mean, many of these kids come over speaking 3 or 4 languages. So for our students to realize, wow, that gives me a leg up, just as something like knowing another language. our world is a very big place, and through exchange, it just continues to get smaller. And I just am so blessed to be a part of each hosting adventure.
Well, I do want to ask how people can get in touch with you, but I wanted to go over the name again because it is a little unusual.
It is a little
It's
unusual.
it's Ayusa.
Yes.
And what does that stand for then, Gigi?
It's Ayusa. And 42 years ago, somebody had the idea that it would stand for a year in the USA. So that's what it stands for. Not as difficult as it seems, but I actually live here in Wadsworth, so I'm not too far away. Our website is www.ayusa.org. If you go on there, you can check out all our information, or if you do apply to host, that comes to me, and then we just discuss the program, see if it's right for you this or any other year. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can private message me on Facebook. My email is ggerstenberger@ayusa.org, or you can call 248-425-8902, and I would be happy to discuss any of the opportunities that I can offer to you, individuals or groups.
Well, we so appreciate this nonprofit organization and that it is changing lives, truly. And not just the student, but the whole family. And I would think the neighborhood and wherever you're at, the schools, everything, it's a life-changing event to have that person.
It is, and I think to realize what you do every day in life may seem so natural to you, and this person comes in and views your entire life through a completely new lens. So they don't have Halloween in other countries and things like that, and it's almost like a refresher. Many families, regardless of their dynamics, say, geez, what an amazing year. I reevaluated how we do things, and you're learning the languages from the students and recipes and sharing things, and it really is an exciting adventure. And I'm with them through the entire process, so I get to enjoy it.
I love this program. So thank you for bringing this to us. That is just absolutely terrific. And people can get in touch with you and learn more about it. Check out their website. And thank you for all you do, Gigi, because that is wonderful.
Thank you for the opportunity. I hope to be speaking with some of your viewers out there soon.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Oops, I gotta stop that recording.